Listen, what I'm about to tell you will probably make you angry at first. You might even think I'm lying, but by the end of this discussion, you'll realize I just saved you from wasting years of your life. She's still there, still texting, still saying, I love you before bed, but here's the psychological truth that will blow your mind. She stopped loving you weeks, maybe even months ago. There's one behavior that proves it beyond any doubt, a behavior so subtle that 97% of men completely miss it until it's way too late. I'll reveal exactly what that is shortly, but here's what's really insane. Right now, as you're reading this, she's doing something that scientists say is the number one predictor of relationship failure, and you probably think it's a good sign. Stay with me, because what I'm about to expose will change everything you thought you knew about love. Your brain wants to see what it hopes for, not what's actually there, and that's exactly why you're missing the signs right in front of you. According to a landmark study from the University of Denver, women emotionally detach an average of 6 months before they physically leave. 6 months, think about that. She's been planning her exit while you thought everything was fine. I'm going to walk you through the 5 psychological signals that separate real love from what psychologists call relationship inertia. That's when she's only staying because leaving feels harder than staying. And later, I'll reveal the one thing she does that means there's absolutely zero chance of saving this. When you see this behavior, it's already over, no exceptions. But first, I need to show you why your instincts are completely backwards on this, and why the thing you think is keeping her close is actually pushing her further away. Let's start with the first sign, the one that's happening right now, and you have no idea. The effort has disappeared, but here's what nobody tells you. Picture this. You're the one planning every date. You initiate every conversation. You remember every detail while she forgets what you told her yesterday. You probably think she's just stressed, busy with work, or going through something. But what if I told you that a woman who's truly in love becomes more attentive during stress, not less? When a woman loves you, you become her safe place during chaos. She runs to you, not away from you. So if she's using stress as an excuse to pull back, the psychological reality is that you're not her comfort anymore. You've become just another source of stress. When a woman loves you, effort isn't effort. It's natural, it's easy. She wants to text you, she wants to plan things, she wants to be part of your world. But when that love fades, every text feels like work. Every date feels like an obligation. Every conversation feels like she's forcing herself to care. Now, here's a concept in behavioral psychology called extinction. It's when a behavior that used to be rewarded stops happening because the reward is gone. Right now, she's experiencing extinction. Being with you used to feel rewarding. Now, it doesn't. And her brain is responding exactly the way science says it should, by shutting down the behavior. But wait, there's something even more sinister happening, something that 9 out of 10 men completely miss, and it's happening in her phone right now. The phone test. When was the last time you saw her phone screen? And I mean really saw it. Her notifications, her messages, her apps. If you're like most men, she's become protective of it lately. Angles it away when you're near, takes it with her everywhere, even to the bathroom. You might think she's cheating, but that's not necessarily where this is going. According to research from the Gottman Institute, look at her response time to you versus her response time to everyone else. She takes hours to reply to you, but watch her fingers fly across that screen when her friend texts. Watch how fast she responds to work emails, to social media comments, to literally anyone who isn't you. This is selective responsiveness, and it reveals priority with brutal accuracy. Her brain is literally prioritizing everyone else over you. Not consciously, but emotionally, you've dropped to the bottom of her attention hierarchy. If her average response time to you is over 2 hours, but she's active on social media during that time, psychologists say there's a 91% chance she's emotionally checked out. Open your chat right now. Look at the timestamps. Look at the pattern. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. If you're finding this perspective helpful, make sure to subscribe, because understanding these psychological triggers is the only way to protect yourself from a world that wants to keep you in the dark. These 5 signs have predicted breakups with terrifying precision. Sign 1, she stopped fighting with you, and that's the worst news possible. You probably think no arguments mean things are getting better, that you're finally in a peaceful place. But couples who stop arguing don't stop because they've found peace. They stop because one person has given up. When a woman loves you, she fights. She cares enough to be angry. She's invested enough to be upset. But when she just says okay to everything, when nothing you do bothers her anymore, that's not maturity. That's emotional death. She's not fighting because she's already accepted that you're not going to change, because she's already planning her exit. Relationship researcher Dr. John Gottman calls this stonewalling, and it's one of the four horsemen that predict divorce with 94% accuracy. When she goes quiet, when she stops engaging, science says your relationship is basically over. Pay attention to this phrase because you've definitely heard it. Whatever you want, or I don't care, or it doesn't matter. When someone is invested, they have opinions, preferences, and they care about how things go. But when investment dies, so does caring. Next time she says whatever you want, suggests something completely ridiculous, a date idea she would normally hate. If she just agrees without pushback, she's not agreeing because she trusts you. She's agreeing because she's mentally checked out. Sign 3. She stops sharing her inner world with you. She used to tell you everything, her fears, her dreams, her random thoughts at 2 a.m. Now you get surface level updates. Work was fine. Nothing new. I'm tired. But here's the kicker. She's still sharing her inner world, just not with you. Her friends know more about her life than you do. Her coworkers hear her real thoughts. She's opening up to everyone except the person she's supposed to be closest to. We share our inner worlds with people we trust and value. When she stops confiding in you, you've been demoted from partner to acquaintance, from confidant to stranger. Sign 4. Your future together has become forbidden territory. Remember when she used to talk about next year, 5 years from now, that trip you'd take someday? Now, when you bring up the future, watch what happens. She changes the subject. She gets uncomfortable. She gives vague non-answers like, let's just see what happens, or I can't think that far ahead. When a woman sees a future with you, she can't help but talk about it. But when she stops seeing that future, even mentioning it feels like lying. So she avoids it completely. Mention a specific future event months away and watch her body language. If she looks uncomfortable or won't commit, her brain is telling her, I won't be with him by then. Sign 5, the nuclear option. She's building a life that doesn't include you. This is the final sign. She's making major life decisions without you. She's planning trips with friends and not inviting you. She's talking about moving, changing jobs, pursuing goals, and your name never comes up. She's not excluding you to hurt you. She's excluding you because in her mind you're already gone. She's already single. She's just waiting for the right moment to make it official. According to Dr. Helen Fisher, a biological anthropologist who studied thousands of breakups, women make the decision to leave an average of 11 months before they actually do it. For almost a year, she's been planning, testing, and preparing an exit strategy while pretending everything is normal. Where are you in her 11-month timeline? If you're seeing multiple signs from this discussion, you're probably close to the end. The mistake that destroys your last chance is this. When you finally realize she's pulling away, your instinct screams at you to do more. More attention, more gifts, more affection, more promises to change. Stop right now. There's a psychological principle called reactance theory. When people feel their freedom is threatened, they push back harder. When you suddenly start love bombing someone who's emotionally checked out, their brain doesn't think, oh, he really cares. Their brain thinks, he's desperate. He's trying to trap me. I need to get out faster. Don't beg. Don't negotiate. Don't try to convince her she's wrong. Just accept it. Thank her for being honest and walk away with your self-respect intact. The way you handle rejection determines how quickly you heal and how likely you are to find something better. Most men cling and chase, torturing themselves for months trying to win back someone who's already moved on. In the process, they become exactly the kind of man she was right to leave. Once emotional detachment reaches the cognitive separation phase, the success rate of reconciliation is less than 3%. You have a better chance of winning a poker hand with your eyes closed than saving a relationship where she's already mentally moved on. Accept the truth, protect your dignity, and start your own timeline today. The second phase of this emotional execution is even more brutal because it's no longer about her pulling away. It's about her rewriting the history of who you are. This is where the ick sets in. In female psychology, Once the emotional connection is severed, her brain starts a process called negative sentiment override. Everything you do, the way you chew, the way you breathe, the jokes she used to find hilarious, now makes her skin crawl. You'll notice her becoming prickly. You ask her a simple question about her day, and she snaps at you like you're interrogating her. She's looking for reasons to justify the fact that she doesn't love you anymore. She needs you to be the villain, so she doesn't have to feel like the bad guy for leaving. This is the stage where she starts soft launching her single life. Look at her social media. Suddenly, the photos of you two together have stopped. She's posting more thirst traps, more out with the girls stories, and in every single one of them, she looks more alive than she ever does when she's sitting next to you. She's testing the waters of the dating market while she's still using your Netflix account. She's making sure she has a place to land before she jumps off the ship. If you see her social media presence shifting toward me and away from us, she isn't just finding herself, she's erasing you from her public identity. Then comes the most painful part of all, the death of intimacy. But it's not just about the bedroom, it's the transactional touch. When she does kiss you, it's a peck on the cheek. When you try to hold her hand, she has to fix her hair or reach for her bag 2 seconds later. If you do have sex, it's hollow. It feels like she's just trying to get it over with, so you'll stop asking. There is no eye contact, no passion, no soul. She is performing a duty. Psychologists call this performative intimacy, and it's a way to keep the peace while her heart is already miles away. She's checking a box so you don't get suspicious and start the talk before she's ready to leave. This is the ultimate betrayal because she's using your own biological needs to keep you in a state of confusion. You think, well, we're still being intimate, so we must be okay. No, she's just paying the rent to keep the status quo until her exit strategy is finalized. During this stage, she will also stop being jealous. She won't care who you're texting or where you're going. Why? Because she's already mentally handed you over to the next woman. She has no more territorial instinct for you because you are no longer her territory. She has already moved on to the next chapter. You're just the guy she hasn't finished ghosting yet. Now, here is the part where you need to listen with every fiber of your being, because this is the moment that defines whether you come out of this as a man or a broken shell. When the realization finally hits you, when you see these signs and the gut check tells you that the woman you love has turned into a stranger, 99% of men make the fatal mistake of negotiating desire. You think you can talk her back into loving you. You bring up the memories, you cry, you beg for one more chance, you promise to be the man she always wanted. Stop, look at yourself. You are literally begging for a seat at a table where you've already been disinvited. In the world of high-level psychology, desire cannot be negotiated. The second you beg a woman to stay, you have permanently killed any remaining attraction she had for you. You are confirming her belief that you are a low-value man with no other options. You are showing her that your entire happiness depends on her validation, and there is nothing less attractive to a woman than a man who doesn't have his own world. You are feeding her ego while starving your own soul. The more you chase, the more she feels like she's winning by leaving you. You're making it easy for her. You're giving her the clout of being the one who walked away from the desperate guy. The borrowed truth, the one that's going to keep you up at 3 a.m. but eventually set you free, is this. The relationship didn't end today. It ended the first time she looked at you and felt nothing, and she didn't tell you. She let you keep investing, keep dreaming, and keep building a future that she knew was never going to happen. That is the ultimate disrespect. So why are you still fighting for someone who didn't have the decency to be honest with you 6 months ago? Why are you trying to save a woman who has spent the last year practicing her life without you? The statistics don't lie. That 3% success rate for reconciliation is reserved for the 1% of men who have the balls to go full nuclear no contact. And I don't mean no contact to get her back. I mean no contact because you realized you're too damn valuable to be anyone's maybe or safety net. The second you stop the messages, stop the checking in, and stop being her emotional support, while she's looking for your replacement, the power dynamic shifts. You stop being the victim and start being the ghost. You need to understand that the man she fell in love with was a man with a vibe, a man with a purpose, a man who didn't need her to exist. By the end, you became the man who needed her for everything. You have to kill that version of yourself today. If she's building a life without you, let her walk into that cold, lonely world. Don't be her friend. Don't be her shoulder to cry on when her new plan fails. Don't be the nice guy who helps her move out. Be the man who recognizes that the contract has been breached and the deal is dead. Walk away with your chin up and your silence loud. Because the most powerful thing a man can ever do, the thing that will haunt her more than any "I love you" ever could, is to simply disappear and never look back. When she realizes that she didn't just leave a simp, but she actually lost a king who was willing to walk away the moment he was disrespected, that is when the true psychological weight of her decision will hit her. But by then, you should be so far ahead in your own life that you don't even care to see the look on her face. This is your wake-up call. The grave is already dug. Stop trying to climb back in and start walking toward the light of your own future.